Welcome back, everybody. I have Jane Lockhart here, of course, our resident designer, somebody we love having here in studio. We also get a lot of questions from you guys every time she comes on, and we do pass them on, and we make sure that we either get her back into studio so we can answer them, and hence why what we're discussing. And we've got questions regarding builders and upgrades, so we're going to touch upon that as well. So Jane, when we're talking about people that have bought a new home or a new condo, you go into now picking your selections, okay? So they book that appointment and you walk into these spaces. And I remember like long ago, they used to be just this little room and like a model and not much attention and not much of an experience. Now, it's a whole experience unto itself, and it's pretty hard not to get taken back by the visual overload and the fact that you want to have everything.
Yes.
People then ultimately, Canadians are known to spend a significant dollar amount on new build, what we call upgrades. So let's touch upon the importance of a designer bringing them to that experience and what you can do for them.
When someone is buying a new home and they have the opportunity to customize it with upgrades, one of the benefits of bringing a designer is, first of all, they will ask the questions that most people are embarrassed to ask because they don't want to sound cheap. So I will ask those questions on behalf of my client, and I will be the cheap one if need be. So that's number one. So, I'll ask, what do I get? Why should I get that? Why don't I get this? What kind of edge do you do? Those are important questions relative to how I know what area I'm supposed to be looking at. The other thing that designers do is they're very familiar with materials, so they can tell you what's going to be a good-looking material. If you are planning to stay in that house 5 to 10 years, what has the most likelihood of staying in style the longest, so you get the most amount of your dollars worth in the long run. Because dated homes sell for less because people have a perception that it's not looked after. It's not true, but that's what people think. And designers know what questions to ask in terms of just aesthetics. How do you finish this? Where does this go? Is this like this? And when you're a homeowner, you don't necessarily know to ask those questions if you've never built a house before. Once you've been through it, oh yeah, that's a good point. I should have asked that.
Now, what about, Jane, when we're talking about items that they're there, so it just seems easy. Just put it in while it's being built. But actually, in some cases, there's certain products that are better to wait. Yes, there are certain products that you want the builder to do. Just get it done. And this is where you come in and understand what is it they're offering and make sure that, whether the edging or we're talking about the thickness of the granite that they're offering or the types of floors, longevity, wear and tear, understanding your lifestyle, you're going to help with all that. But now we've got another thing where there's a lot of products that you're going to say, no, do not buy these now. We'll bring in the right people, and we can do this once it's built and once you've closed on your property, correct?
Yes. Yeah, so there are different ways of looking at it. You never want to prevent the closing of your property, right? So you don't want to ever pick anything that's impossible, that the builder can't get the property to you and you do your legal closing of it. So we would never have them do something that interferes with that. And that usually means you're not going to not pick things that are going to affect the structures, right? So you're going to make sure that the structural elements that have to be included are included. I do have clients occasionally who are electricians, so they'll want to do their own electrical later, afterwards, because they can take their own permits, they can sign off on that, and they recognize the cost to that. However, there are decorative things such as backsplashes is a good example where if there's no tile there that you like the look of, you can ask them to delete it. Doesn't mean you're going to get a cost savings.
Sometimes you do.
Yes, sometimes you do. Sometimes you don't. It just depends on how big the space is.
But the cost of removing it
is considerably more.
Exactly.
Absolutely. For sure. If you want to put in your own carpet in certain places, like a runner, you may just say, delete that. I'm going to do it myself after I have the house. Sometimes people will put in their own hardwood in certain isolated rooms, like a front den that's not related to the rest of the house. They might do their own.
Fantastic. Well, here's what we're going to do, Jane. We're going to make sure that we post on our social media, especially on Facebook, because you do a lot of blogging. You do a lot of showing visuals. So we're going to highlight those because I get such a kick in terms of, because I learn every single time. So we're going to do that. We need to remind everybody, though, to also check you out. They can visit
JaneLockhart.com.
Yeah, so pretty easy, everybody.
Yes,
JaneLockhart.com.
Yes, and usually any version of it usually gets you to the site. But we have lots of photography. We have lots of videos. We're really we're really thinkers. Like, we like to think about what's available in the industry and give people ideas, because we see it, we can't always use it, but we love to share what we see out there with other people. So it's all free. There's no cost to join. You can have a look and just see what's there.
Fantastic. And of course, if you guys got questions, we know that we're going to answer them, and we're going to certainly have Jane do so as well. So remember, visit us at realestatetalkshow.ca, and you can call our toll-free hotline at any time, 844-ASK-RETS. That's 844-ASK-RETS. Jane, love having you.
Thank you.
Well, that's it, everybody, for another fantastic show. And of course, we have to thank all of our expert guests, Sasha Choo-Choos, Jane Lockhart, and Rob Evans. And of course, we love to hear from you. So please make sure to check us out on social media. And of course, we want to make sure that you tune in next time. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you then.